training video, we will be installing the Haier FlexFit Series Slim Duct Type Air Handler. The ducted unit is mounted to the building structure using 4 threaded rods. The ducted unit can be connected to a FlexFit single zone or multi-zone model outdoor unit. It's under construction. The unit will be mounted to the building structure and suspended in the proper position so that the unit will fit in an enclosed soffit area. Always select an installation location where the structure is strong enough to carry the weight of the air handler. Always be certain adequate support is in electrical wiring. Make certain to maintain proper clearances around the ducted unit. Inadequate clearances can cause system freezing or temperature control problems. Make sure there are adequate clearances for future maintenance and service. Allow for access to the condensate pump assembly and the electrical control box. When the unit in duct insulation, follow local codes to determine the required specifications for duct wrapping. Route the refrigerant lines to the area where the ducted unit is to be located. Refrigerant line connections are flare type. Distance between the outdoor unit and the air handler are within specification limits. Follow all local codes and regulations when installing electrical wiring. Route the required electrical power and wired remote cable to the area where the ducted unit is to be located. Maintain at least a 3-foot clearance between unit wiring and sources of electrical interference. Install the hardware necessary to mount the threaded rod unit. With mounting positions marked and the appropriate hardware installed, install the threaded rods to the structure. Lift the ducted unit and position the threaded rods into the 4 mounting clips located on each corner of the ducted unit in the proper mounting height. Next, make adjustments to the threaded rod nuts to obtain perfect level across the bottom of the unit. Prior to routing the refrigerant lines to the unit, install the flare nuts onto the ends of the refrigerant lines. Remove the shipping caps from the refrigerant line connection fittings. The holding charge gas should leak out. Add insulated tape provided with the ducted unit. The ducted unit air handler has a built-in condensate pump and condensate safety switch. The discharge fittings of the condensate pump is shown here. A gray flexible connection hose is supplied with the ducted unit. The gray connection hose is connected to the condensate pump discharge port. The supplied clamp should be tightened to secure the hose to the ducted unit. 3/4 inch PVC piping to complete the connection to the condensate drain system. When using the condensate pump, configure the 3/4 inch PVC piping to prevent condensate from backing up to the unit. The unit also has 2 gravity drain ports that can be used to drain the condensate. If these ports are selected, the internal condensate pump should be in it and the indoor unit we are about to work on. Remove the ducted unit's electrical box cover. Electrical wiring entry point is made by removing the rubber grommet at the indoor unit. Using reducing washers and a 1/2 inch connector to route the electrical wiring into the electrical box. Wiring will serve to power the indoor unit and establish a communication link between indoor and outdoor units. The wiring is connected at the indoor unit electrical terminal block screws 1, 2, 3, and ground. There should be no splices in the wires connected to. If a condensate safety switch is needed, you should break wire 2 only. With the field installed wiring attached to the proper screws at the indoor unit, next, connect the wired remote control column. The system was designed primarily to be installed in a soffit. The return air ducting can come into the bottom of the unit or through the back. The unit comes from the factory with rear return air connection option open. If bottom return is desired, simply remove the cover that covers the bottom opening for the return air on the unit and place it in the opening from the rear. Return air can now be drawn into the bottom of the unit. The supply air should be blown straight out the front of the unit. A short length of duct may be connected to the front of the unit and then connected to a supply air diffuser. Remember, these systems are primarily designed to be installed in a soffit type of installation. the total available static pressure for all ductwork and return air grill and supply diffuser is 0.16 inches of static pressure. When installing a duct to the front of the unit or even to the return, the length should be kept to a minimum. The ducted unit is now ready to be checked for refrigeration and condensate water leaks. Once leak testing is completed, the wiring from the indoor unit can now be connected to the outdoor unit, and the installation of other indoor units